Hey lovelies! So when it comes to easy weeknight cooking, nothing beats a stir fry. They're super fast, they're super filling, and they're super flavorful. Three of my very favorite things. Today I've got three brand new stir fry recipes to share with you, starting with this incredible sweet and sour chicken that you guys are going to adore. Now, if you're a big fan of Chinese takeout like me, then you're probably familiar with sweet and sour chicken. But when you order it from takeout, you really can't control the amount of fat, salt, and sugar going into your food. So you won't believe how easy sweet and sour chicken is to make yourself. It all starts with a really wonderful sauce. I have got some pineapple juice in my bowl. Pineapple juice is amazing because not only is it really sweet, it's also very tangy and a little bit sour. So it's the perfect base for a sweet and sour sauce. To that, I'm going to add a little brown sugar, which is my sweet, and some rice vinegar, which is my sour. I'll also add a splash of tamari to this for a little bit of savory flavor, and the super secret ingredient in most sweet and sour sauces, ketchup. I'll hit this with some garlic and some ginger, and then to help our sauce thicken up during the cooking process, we are also going to add a little bit of cornstarch, which essentially takes our sauce from a liquid to a nice syrupy texture when we're cooking. Once I've got my sauce mixed up, I can turn my attention to the stove. I've got a nice big non-stick skillet heating up on the stove over medium-high heat. You could also use a wok here if you wanted to. I'm just going to add a little bit of oil into my pan. In this case, I'm just using some vegetable oil. Any flavorless oil here will work. Then it is going to be time to add our chicken to the pan. Now I'm using some boneless, skinless chicken breasts here that I've just cut into cubes. You could do this with thighs, that would work really well. Or if you wanted to swap in some pork in this recipe, sweet and sour pork is also a huge hit. We just want to cook up our protein until it is no longer pink and it starts to get a nice golden color on the exterior. That means it's time to add our veggies. Today, I'm using a combination of red and orange bell pepper, and I'm also going to be adding some pineapple to this. We're gonna keep stirring this for 2 to 3 minutes just until those peppers start to soften, and then it's time to add our sauce to the skillet. Now, the moment that sauce hits the skillet, it's going to start bubbling up, and you'll see almost instantly it will begin to thicken. What we're looking for is for that sauce to reduce slightly and to become nice and syrupy and coat all of those gorgeous veggies. This usually takes only 2 to 3 minutes. Then this masterpiece is ready to serve. I like piling it on a bed of rice and serving it up with some sesame seeds and some finely chopped green onion for garnish. And let me tell you guys, this is a heck of a lot better than takeout. Next, for you spice lovers, I am making a spicy turkey and green beans stir fry that is a total fan favorite in my house. It once again starts with a really tasty but simple sauce. I've got a little bit of soy sauce in my bowl. You could do this with tamari as well if you wanted to. Tamari is just gluten-free soy sauce. To that, I'm going to add some chili garlic sauce, a little bit of rice vinegar, some honey for sweetness, and this is one of those recipes where you do not want to skimp on the ginger. We'll give that a good mix, and then we're going to get to work on cooking up our turkey. Once again, I've got some oil heating up in a nice non-stick skillet. As soon as that oil is hot, we can get our ground turkey into the pan. You can do this with some ground chicken if you want to, or some ground beef. For me, ground turkey is just a bit of a nice change. We'll just cook up our turkey, breaking it up with the side of our spoon until it's no longer pink, and then we can start to add some veggies to this. So today, I'm using some green beans that I've just cut in half. You can really use any greens you want in this recipe. Broccoli would be great, asparagus would work here, as would snap peas, but green beans were what I had, so green beans is what is going into the pan. We're just gonna give our green beans a bit of a head start in cooking before we add our carrots, because I've julienned my carrots so thin, they won't take much time to cook. And then, most importantly, we have our sauce headed in here. Our green beans are gonna cook by steaming up in all of that great sauciness, and these flavors are gonna concentrate, and we're gonna end up with something truly amazing. I usually serve this on rice, but it would be equally delicious on noodles. Or if you wanted to keep this dish lower carb, you could leave the grains out entirely and enjoy it just as it is. This is also a perfect recipe for meal prep, so go ahead and make a double batch and you can enjoy it for lunch for 2 or 3 days. Finally today, I have got a really tasty sesame soba noodle stir fry. That is absolutely perfect for Meatless Monday because it is totally vegetarian. And once again, it starts with a simple but delicious sauce. I've got some soy sauce hanging out in my bowl. To that, I'm going to add some honey, so it's a nice balance of salty and sweet. Next, I've got a splash of sesame oil headed in here, as well as some rice vinegar. I'm also going to be adding some garlic and ginger to this. We'll give that a whisk, and then we can turn our attention to our soba noodles. Soba noodles are amazing because they cook up in no time in just some boiling water. They're usually tender in just 2 to 3 minutes. You can drain them in a colander and then set them aside while you get to work on heating up some oil in a nonstick skillet. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add some broccoli florets to this. Again, most greens will do here. This is a great way to clear out your fridge. Whatever veggies look like they're about to sort of turn, those are the ones you should pop into your skillet. So after just 2 or 3 minutes in a nice hot pan, you'll see your broccoli will start to get nice and bright green. That is an amazing sign. We are going to get our soba noodles right into the pan. Not to worry if they've started to stick together, they will loosen up once we add our sauce. That'll help add a ton of great flavor as well. For even more protein and fiber, I've got some shelled edamame headed in here, and I've also got some shredded carrot going in as well. Give all of that about 2 to 3 minutes just to come together, and this is ready to be enjoyed. I like garnishing it up with some sesame seeds, and oh my gosh, guys, this is soba good. I hope you will give all 3 of these delicious recipes a try, guys. If you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo, because you know how much I love seeing your kitchen creations. Remember, all of these tasty recipes are linked in the description box. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, because there is lots more deliciousness for this cake.